Roe v. Wade has been going through the courts and the backlash has been glorious, and I thought we'd just have a look at it and enjoy, because why not? I always enjoy a little bit of leftist cringe, if nothing else. And we're going to start off here with a shill for Lawrence Wright's The Looming Tower, The Road to 9/11. You might wonder what the hell that has to do with abortion. We'll get back to it. Watch till the end. Trust me.
Think of all the children that weren't born because of 9/11. Is that where we're going with this?
It's even more big-brained leftist thinking.
They were trying to abort America?
I won't spoil it, but
okay.
But the lady who wrote The Handmaid's Tale is going to justify 9/11. So
has she been watching Hassan?
Yeah, so if we go forward, we can see some of the first responses, of course, which included die-haired feminists screeching, well, I can't kill a baby, what's the point in life anymore? Why do I even live? I don't know.
It's the only thing I can find enjoyment in now.
And also, if we go to the next one, we can see there were a lot of memes like this. This is just a random one I found, which is the pregnant man emoji, of course. Oh, a guy who's just had a big turkey dinner. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, when Roe v. Wade popped back into the news, the liberals knew what a woman is again. Now, hang on.
That's the thing. I've seen that.
Don't be so fast.
I was going to say, but that's not entirely accurate, is it?
No, only some of the leftists have realized that. If we go to the next one here, we can see a manly woman, someone in a male voice, as Andy No says, shouting, "Keep the laws out of my P word." Let's play.
Keep my laws out of your pussy.
How do you feel about vaccine mandates?
Laws out of my pussy. Keep your laws out of my pussy. Keep your laws out of my pussy.
It doesn't make sense. You're contradicting yourself.
They're baby haters. They probably
Kill me.
I really don't think that she has any fear of anything going near her
Mate,
cat.
I think your cats are going to be fine.
Yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
one I think you're referring to, because there's nothing else going on, is there?
Yeah.
Let's be frank.
Also, it just shows the kinds of people that are attracted to these protests, because I don't mean this to be like too harsh or anything. Obviously, massively autistic.
Yeah, but not in just like, I've got autism or anything like that. No, like clinically something is wrong with you. You have made politics your entire life, are clinically online. I mean, it should be a diagnosis, frankly, and have driven yourself insane in any other period in history. If you turned up, like we time traveled you to the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s, and just put you down in front of an average family and you had a conversation with them, they think you are just insane.
They would probably call the authorities.
Never want to see you again. I mean, when you're screeching about your kitty cat that you don't have, what's wrong with you? So we can see more of this, as Andy No also documented. There was this instance in which some guy was trying to talk to some Antifa weirdos. And,
Just threw out a Sheik Heil for a second there.
I thought you were a dude, my bad. But let's play this clip because it's funny.
You are harassing me. Are you not listening? I'm a woman being followed by a man who's not a journalist. You are fired.
I thought you were a dude. Oh, my bad.
It says it right on my
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, sir.
Do you see my
Ma'am,
blood
I
type?
mean, ma'am.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
No, back it up. No. No, get away from her. Get away from her. She said it. For the
Intentionally fucking harassing.
He just misgendered this woman, sir.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Call the
Take a
police.
fucking
The
look.
Seattle police.
Get the fuck out of here, bro! Go hide behind the cops, my boss.
Gotta stay with
It
people.
is very telling how this person obviously knows, okay, I've like blocking my face, have an obviously very masculine frame, broad shoulders,
Voice.
narrow
I'm
hips.
trying to look masculine because you're trying to look like you're tough.
Yes, but so I obviously need to have my pronouns on my shoulder, or no one will know.
I just know that there are loads of Soviet songs from the Afghan war where they're like, you know, blood type on my sleeve. You're gonna say that I'm a woman, bury me with a woman. No, you're not. Let's move forward as well. So we'll move to the next link, so we can see the guys in Seattle there giving Nazi salutes as they burn the American flag. Very interesting.
That is very interesting, very telling.
That kind of socialist, I presume. Radio. Let's move forward. Let's go to the next one, which is some other responses, because you've got those, you know, violent types, and then you've got the, I don't know what to call them, brain
Evil?
dead types. It's not even that, because you can tell these are kind of the moron kids who were fine. They were perfectly normal kids, and they were sent to university and made dumb. And this is what came out.
I suppose there is a kind of collective retardation effect.
Yeah, so this person went to uni and was retarded in her studies to the point that she is now holding a sign at a pro-choice march, as they call themselves, with a sign that says "Fetus equals good snack."
You know what when Carl talks about Warhammer, and it's really nerdy, and it's
About how the left
a little
look
bit
like
tismy,
literal demons.
but there is a lot of truth to it.
Literal-
This is the Slaneshi demon right here. Going, do you a nice fetus you got there? Do you mind if I eat that?
So the demon has turned up to side with the. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. Come on, this is just so. I mean, if you don't want to be called baby murderers, stop calling the fetuses good snacks. I know it's a radical position.
If you don't want to be called baby murderers, don't be so enthusiastic about saying how you love murdering babies.
Let's move to the next one because there's leftist cartoonists I saw.
Oh God, this
This is brilliant. This is gold. They're after me, not because I'm the end goal, but I'm in their way. And it's Roe v. Wade. Oh no. Take down the Roe v. Wade domino, and then we're going to outlaw Plan B. Nope, that's not abortion, for one. Ban contraception? Nope. Literally harms no one.
Nope.
Federal ban on abortion? Let's have a debate. Banning gay marriage?
I mean, one of the problems is the fact that it was a federal law in the first place.
Yeah. Banning gay marriage? That has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Anti-sodomy laws? Again, nothing to do with this. Repealing women's right to vote? Very base, but not for this time. Banning, what was that? Interracial marriage.
What does race have to do with that? Well, I mean, I can think of one way that Roe v. Wade ties into race, but not in the way that the leftists would like.
No, but I love how they're like, well, if we can't kill kids, we might as well stop people race mixing. What?
Imagine all of the race mixing that'll happen if they can't abort them.
And it moves on.
We don't want a generation of half-breeds.
So, once the left have banned race mixing because they're not allowed to kill kids, they're going to return Jim Crow. There, the last one there, if we can go back.
Oh.
And then the last one they have on there is the return of slavery. So if we can't kill babies, we might as well enslave the blacks and return to tradition. What are you doing?
Well, I can see why they're so scared. If only I'd been able to deduce this obviously logical series of events right here.
If only the right wingers had known. I mean, clearly we had no idea. I had no idea that if we stopped killing babies, that slavery would return. But it's all hinged on that, didn't it?
We should probably cover bread pains at some point because it's such an obviously embarrassing attempt to rip off Stone Toss, but for leftists.
Yeah, although the cartoons are just crap.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really crap. But if it was Stone Toss, it'd be half the words as well. So let's go to the next one. So we have Bezos's outlets, the Washington Post, who decided to go on another doxing spree. This one, they tried to dox the Supreme Court justices' family homes. They quickly deleted that.
Oh, I bet they did.
Put up a notice that said this file was inadvertently published.
I accidentally wrote this article and posted it.
I don't believe them. Color me surprised, but an organization that has a hired doxer, Lawrence, and does it publicly and continues to do it, I don't believe that it's an accident. I think it's genuine. If we go to the next one, we can see, well, why would you do such a thing? For a call to arms, of course. Everyone's seen it, but we'll go over it again because it's mad. Laurie Lightfoot, an elected representative, decided to go with to my friends in the LGBTQ plus community, presumably including the P. The Supreme Court is coming for us next. The movement has to call to arms. We will not surrender our rights without a fight to victory.
I didn't know Laurie Lightfoot had such a large hand in January 6th.
Yeah, das ist unser Endsieg. If we can't, the final victory is when we kill all the babies. That's right, I'm for queer activism.
If I can't have babies, no one can.
End the breeders. I don't know. I'm sorry I don't have much commentary to make because it's just so obviously evil. In which someone's like, yeah, we're going to call to arms, go after the Supreme Court justices' family homes, and, well, we should be able to just kill kids. Equals tasty snack.
Once again, it's always worth bringing up with this. All they're looking to do, they're not looking to ban abortion everywhere by federal order. They're literally removing the federal order that abortion has to be legal in every state. That's all it is.
If we go to the next one here, we can see the call to arms in effect. This is some anti-abortion group that had their place hit with Molotov cocktails and then scribbled on the side there, if abortions aren't safe, then neither are you. Fantastic. Good work, Laurie Lightfoot. Get some people killed, why don't you? Because, well, actually, no, it does make sense. I just realized that. Well, if we kill kids and then we kill the adults too, and then we kill everyone and then communism wins. Because we're all equal when we're dead.
That is true. Communism is when everyone dead.
Absolutely. If we go to the next one, we of course see the leftist response to this, which is that they called for more of it. This is a verified checkmark, as Andy No puts here, a leftist journo who's like, more of this. Maybe these people never know a moment of peace or safety until they're in the ground. Fantastic. Thanks for telling us the left-wing worldview, which is everyone dead. As more. We go to the next one. We also have the respectable face of retardation. And this is the most funny thing. This is what I was laughing at earlier.
Okay.
So this is insider news, verified check mark, so they can decide the context of anything they put up. They're going to fact check us as wrong because you've forgotten what's really important about abortion: the money.
Disney cartoon level villainy right here.
Yeah. Women denied abortions are more likely to miss bill payments, experience bankruptcy, and use social services than other women in the same socioeconomic status. Yes.
You know what would help prevent that?
Being serious about sex.
Or having a man in your life.
All that. But there's the aspect of just, well, if you didn't want to get pregnant in the first place, be careful about sex. I mean, this culture in the West, as you pointed out previously, we don't. We have this ridiculous notion of how sex should be just another thing you can do. And no, it has serious consequences.
It's as easy as just going up to a vending machine and popping a coin in and getting a packet of sweets or something. That's how simple people are making it out to be. There's no consequences. There's no emotional connection forged through sex or anything like that. And it's just a lie.
Just obvious lie. And our culture is waking up to this in this debate.
So
fantastically.
Once again, so many of my friends in my generation have gone off and done the thing where they've gone off and been self-reportedly a slut for a while, and then they always get so concerned and so confused. Why have I caught feelings with this person I've been sleeping with for a month? Oh, I wonder why.
Might have been all the sex, who knows? But anyway, to be careful about sex, to make sure you don't end up in bankruptcy is a legitimate thing, and the percentage of people who do is not a significant percentage as we listed previously, who then go for abortions. It's just not a high percentage at all, so don't give me that BS. Abortion restrictions cost the US about $105 billion annually. What? What the hell does that mean? If I don't understand. So because women are pregnant and therefore not at work, we're losing money, damn it. Therefore, I don't know, legalize killing babies so that we can make more money.
I mean, the graph is still going up, but it's going up slightly less than it was before. We can't have this.
With losing money by having kids, it was like, what the hell are you talking about?
But if we don't have kids, who's going to make money in the future, though?
Don't think about that. We just need money now. Just more money. Just more growth instantly.
All right, Keynes. All right, fine.
Young women who utilize legal abortion to delay a unplanned start to motherhood by just 1 year realized an 11% increase in hourly wages later in their careers. So fantastic. We can calculate the worth of a human life, which is an 11% increase in your hourly wages. That's it. Thank you, Insider. Thank you, Insider News, for coming to the fact check, that's what it's worth.
Okay, so I won't have this baby. I'll have one next year to make sure I get paid more.
But of course, they're not saying wait a year and plan your life. They're saying legalize abortion, so you kill the kid, and then you get 11% increase in your wages. So kill another one, another 11%.
Is that a benefit? Do I get a coupon when I go to the clinic?
You go into your boss, give him the fetus, and he goes, "Oh, well done." I mean, I don't know what view of the world these people think is ideal, because it's mad. If we get the next one, we also see the fact that they say unplanned births reduce the labor force participation by as much as 25%. That's right, drone. Get back in the office. Don't not kill the kid. Instead, just get back into the labor force. I mean, I really hate that term. I mean, it really does treat humans as just an object. The idea that you are just a drone in the hive city. If we go to the next one as well, we also have the fact that, of course, Brown's most affected. Because I'm sorry, I hate the term they use.
Well, I mean, technically, when it was first put in place, they were.
Yeah. Young women and women of color, specifically black and Hispanic women, most likely impacted from Roe v. Wade. They're not impacted, of course, in the way that you're thinking. They're not worried about that because, the reality, of course, will be that there will be more brown babies. And Insider News is petrified of that future.
I mean, you'd think that they'd think it was a good thing.
But no, apparently not, because they're still on the Margaret Sanger train of... as the black nationalists call it, accurately, funnily enough, the Negro baby Holocaust, which is what Planned Parenthood was set up to do and did successfully.
I mean, it is literal eugenics.
Yeah, so I also love just the point of that there's no birth, there's no labor force, dum-dum, but they don't think that far. That's assuming they have that kind of thought.
Well, in the long run, we are all dead anyway, so...
If we go to the next one, we then have the New York Times, who have had a big think about this, which is that of the body of 100 people deciding this, 76% are men making the decisions about private lives of nearly 168 million women. That's ludicrous. Again, funny how you were able to find what a woman was all of a sudden, but then also, who cares? I really hate this argument that men should have no say in abortions because they're men, so they're not the ones who get pregnant.
Yeah, no, they're not the ones getting birth. It's not like, it's their child as well or anything.
But also just the argument, okay, we'll take that to its logical conclusion. Women don't really make up the murderers. Men are all the murderers. Like, women are like 5%. It's pathetic. Do better. Women.
We need parity in murder statistics.
Well, if you're a leftist. But the point being that basically murder is a man's domain, and therefore women should have no say on whether or not it should be legalized. It should be entirely up to us to decide if murder is legalized. I mean, it's just silly. Like, this is the conservative position. It's baby murder, right? Therefore, the men should not have a say in it is insane. There's also the point, as John makes, that women don't pay into the tax system over their lives, which is a whole other argument, but let's leave that for now. And move on to the fan fiction section of this segment, which is the last thing I'm going to enjoy here. I invented, I don't know how you say it, Gilead. The Supreme Court is making it real. This is Margaret Atwood, the creator of Handmaid's Tale, writing about the fact that it's all coming true, bro. It's going to happen.
I've heard mixed things about Handmaid's Tale. I've heard good things and bad things, and they kind of... come from the sides of the aisle that you would expect,
Yeah, I never bothered reading it or watching it because it's just so ridiculous. And she even says herself that it's ridiculous in her opening paragraph of this article, which I find funny. In the early years of the 1980s, I was fooling around with a novel that explored a future in which the United States had become disunited. Part of it had turned into a theocratic dictatorship based on the 17th century New England Puritan religious tenets and jurisprudence. Although I eventually compiled this novel and called it The Handmaid's Tale, I stopped writing it several times because I considered it too far-fetched. Yeah, that's why you should have left it, because it's obviously ridiculous. Like, the idea is that just this group overthrows the Constitution because we right-wing in that. It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense, especially in the American context.
Because the right-wing Americans are always the ones who hate the Constitution so much.
Burning it left, right, and centre and saying it's just a document, bro. Who cares? Mm-hmm. No. She says, silly me, theocratic dictatorships do not lie only in the distant past. There are a number of them on the planet today. What is to prevent the United States from becoming one of them? I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, number one, all of the checks and balances and political traditions of the United States is one. Like, the whole purpose was it for not to be part of the old world, but then also the idea that there are theocratic dictatorships. I can think of one, being North Korea. But apart from that, I mean, maybe Iran? I mean, Saudi Arabia is a kingdom. They've got their...
I mean, I'm sure they... to be fair, this is not too bad a point, because we seem to have this sort of idea nowadays that all of the bad stuff is in the past. We've only got onwards and upwards from here, whereas that is not the case.
That aspect's
things
true.
can still get worse.
But she mentions theocratic dictatorships, North Korea being one of them, and, well, abortion actually is legal up until the rate the United States allows it, and they're one of the 5 countries on Earth that do that. I mean, everywhere in Europe, it's not as late as it is in the United States.
Yeah, that's true.
The liberal states. We don't allow that in anywhere else in the civilized world. She says, for instance, it is now the middle of 2022, and we have just been shown leaked opinions of the Supreme Court of the United States that would overthrow the settled law for 50 years on the grounds that abortion is not mentioned in the Constitution, and it is not deeply rooted in our history and tradition. True enough, the Constitution has nothing to say about women's reproductive health. No, it has nothing to do with legalizing murder. I don't know what to say. But the original document does not mention women at all, because it shouldn't need to. It's the aspect. Women were deliberately excluded from the franchise, and then she goes on to whine about the history of civil rights, but she butchers it, and I can't be bothered to waste my time with the lazy rereading of history about women's suffrage, so we're going to skip over that. She gets on to, women were non-persons in US law for a lot longer than they were persons. If we start overthrowing settled law using Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito's justifications, why not repeal votes for women? Why not indeed? Moving on. No, there's a point there that it's not based on the right to privacy, dum-dum. Like, this argument was based on the right to privacy in the most ridiculous circumstances by a woman who lied and then spent the rest of her life trying to overturn the decision.
Trying to make up for it because of how awful she felt about it.
Yeah, so the idea that women's rights to vote are just based on private, they're not. They're based on the right to vote and elect without no taxation, without representation. And you're an American, you should know this.
It says there as well, the right to abstain from giving birth. Well, you can do that if you're just careful about sex.
It's not that difficult. Wait, you say, it's not about the organs, it's about the babies. Finally, we're there, she's got it. Okay, so now we can have the real debate from the lady who wrote The Handmaid's Tale, which raises some questions. Is an acorn an oak tree? Blah-de-blah-de-blah. And she gives other stupid examples. And then she says, the hard line of today's anti-abortion activists is at conception. Right, she's understood the conservative position American conservatives, right?
And honestly, after everything that I've learned about over the past few weeks as a result of this, I've kind of got to the conception point at this point, because it's like everything else it just introduces moral grey area that nobody can agree on. So it's easiest and simplest. Okay, it's been conceived, done.
But we've got she's managed to define the American conservative conception on the argument. Okay, good enough. She's got that. Now, how is she going to butcher it and then try and legalize abortions? And this is the best part of the article from this absolute brainlet. And I'm really glad I never bothered reading this crappy book, because it seems that really she is an airhead. So she says, the conservatives say it starts at conception, which is now supposed to be the moment at which a cluster of cells becomes ensouled. But any such judgment depends on a religious belief, namely the belief in souls. No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm an atheist. I think you're an atheist as well, aren't you?
Yep.
Plenty of atheists around the world who still cringe at a pregnant woman being kicked in the stomach. And so
Yep.
do you. Don't lie, Margaret.
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to believe in souls to understand that there is something, I don't know if you could say, sacred about human life. Yes.
But even then, it's just like, what the hell? So she continues, let's look at the First Amendment. This is the stupidest argument I've ever heard. She's going to make it. It reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. It ought to be simple. If you believe in ensoulment at conception, you should not get an abortion, because to do so is a sin in your religion. If you do not believe in souls, then, under the Constitution, you should be able to do what you want, because under the Constitution, you should not be bound by the religious beliefs of others. I have religious liberty to kill what has no soul.
Which, being completely a-religious, I believe is nothing.
That doesn't make any...
Therefore, I'm okay to just murder anything and everything. See, you can go
Anyone
with
alive.
it. Like, atheists, like, I tend to subscribe generally to natural rights and natural law, like the old Greek conception of it, which is, makes human life is sacred because, if you murder someone, you're taking that away from them without their consent, making a decision for them. It's just bad.
I just love that Margaret has come to the opinion of legalized murder. Why? Because abortion needs to be legalized. So we'll just kill anything that doesn't have a soul.
My freedom is being restricted.
If you go to the next one here, here's some chaps who definitely believed in that opinion. Ma liberté, they screamed as they slammed themselves into the Twin Towers because they were killing infidels who have no souls, and therefore everything about this was fine. At least that's Margaret's interpretation as she sits watching the planes fly in there and goes, well, fair enough. I mean, that's their liberty as free Americans.
I mean, given that I'm an atheist, I have nothing to say about this.
Nothing at all, says Margaret. This is perfectly moral.
She's the leader of the Futurama neutral planet.
Yeah, in fact, to stop them would be a violation of the Constitution. It's their religious liberty to murder whoever they want, because they've decided they don't have a soul. And if we go to the next one, we actually have a funny example of this, which is the Satanic Temple apparently agree with her interpretation of all of this. So, fantastic. You are literally on the side of Satan, Margaret, and you are an absolute airhead. I'm glad I never read your bloody book, because apparently you are the stupidest person alive. If you're going to justify that, let's just legalize murder because, I don't know, souls and stuff knows nothing. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as the Contemplation series, this one between Josh and Thomas, on existentialism. And if you want to follow Josh, you can follow him on Getter at @Josh_firm on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.